Hello, everyone. While you're listening to this, there are more than 8,000 satellites orbiting Earth right now. Weather satellites, navigation satellites, broadcasting satellites, and many more. But have you ever wondered how all these satellites move around in space without any fuel? And if they do use fuel, what happens when they run out? Welcome, I'm Adam Carter. Let's dive into it. Imagine we have a cannon on top of a high mountain and we fire a shell horizontally. The shell would travel through the air for a while, but eventually it would fall back to the ground due to gravity. Now, imagine if we had an extremely powerful cannon and we fired a shell so far that it traveled beyond the curvature of the Earth. In this case, the shell would continue to orbit around the Earth indefinitely due to gravity, essentially falling forever without ever hitting the ground. This is the basic principle behind satellites. Satellites don't actually need fuel to keep moving. When we want to launch a satellite, we put it on a rocket, which then takes it up into space and places it into a specific orbit around Earth. After that, the satellite orbits the Earth automatically, thanks to gravity and momentum, much like the Moon orbits the Earth and the Earth orbits the Sun. But does this mean satellites don't need fuel at all? Well, not exactly. They don't need fuel to keep moving, but they do need fuel for essential tasks, such as taking pictures, sending and receiving signals, or adjusting their position. All of these actions require energy. Of course, this time, gasoline won't do the trick. We can't exactly fly up there every so often to refuel them. We need a fuel that lasts for decades, if not centuries. One of the most commonly used materials for this purpose is hydrazine. Hydrazine is a chemical compound made of nitrogen and hydrogen. Even small amounts of it produce an incredibly high burn, which is why it's used as satellite fuel. Unfortunately, it's highly toxic and requires special handling procedures. Another option for satellite fuel is nuclear reactors. Take the Voyager 1 space probe, for example. It was launched to study the solar system and contains 3 nuclear power generators. It was sent into space back in 1977, and it's still operational today, sending back signals just fine. It's expected to keep functioning until 2030, or maybe a bit longer. And finally, we have solar panels, which are used to power space probes and satellites. Some of the most famous objects in space that rely heavily on solar energy are the International Space Station, the Hubble Telescope, and the James Webb Space Telescope. And that's a wrap. If you have any questions in mind, drop them in the comments and I'll make a video answering them.